How we doing, folks? Welcome back to the channel. So today we are taking a look at what I think are the top 5 freeware airports in Europe, and of course we're starting off at the freeware version of Gatwick, which can be downloaded from flightsim.to. Now this airport kind of feels like home to me at this point. We're always flying in and out of here on our live streams, and it is kind of the hub for what we do over on New Sky for the Air Not Virtual Airline. On which subject, if you are interested in flying with us on New Sky, feel free to get yourself an account. Come and join the airline. We would love to have you. But this is just such a wonderful, wonderful airport. It's really jam-packed with detail. It can be a little bit of a heavy hitter in terms of the old FPS, but yeah, that's not necessarily limited to Gatwick Airport. You can find detailed airports throughout the sim that will give your system a hard time. But there is, I believe, a payware version of Gatwick available as well. I think it's from Origami Studios. I've never used it. Maybe I should get it and do a comparison on the channel. Let me know if that's something you'd like to see or not. Of course, we've got a little train going by there as well, so jam-packed full of details. And again, for freeware, this is just such a wonderful contribution to the flight sim community. I really do thank the developers for their work, and yeah, just a really, really wonderful airport. Used all the time on VATSIM, and again, when you're on VATSIM, you kind of need airports that are, go beyond what the defaults give you. I mean, look at all these taxiway markings. When you get given instructions, it's important that you're able to do what the controllers want you to do, and if you've got scenery that lets you down, that's a really bad place to find yourself in. And it doesn't necessarily mean you have to spend a fortune, of course, because you've got free versions of airports like this. Absolutely wonderful piece of scenery. Thoroughly recommend you get yourself over to flightsim.to. Get it downloaded, get it installed, and start doing some ops out of Gatwick. Of course, I'll leave links to everything we talk about in this video in the description, so you can find it for yourselves. Right, on to the next one. Alright, next up we have Alicante, and this is a real favourite of mine, Alicante. If any of you that have done a holiday in real life to Spain probably have flown in and out of Alicante once or twice, and when you pair it with an airport like Gatwick, that makes for a really nice route, because of course Gatwick to Alicante is a nice kind of not too long route, and it's a really popular one for holiday destinations, so it's really nice to have that one on the books. Really nicely modelled terminal, as you can see, and yeah, the default Alicante, it's a little bit lacking, I think it's fair to say. So to have this one as a freeware option from flightsim.to is a very, very welcome addition to the sim. Paying more attention to the taxiway markings, you can see everything is looking very nice indeed. And again, that's really, really important. I'm gonna sound like a broken record, but when you're on VATSIM, this kind of stuff is important. Having the correct taxiways, having the correct taxiway markings. If you get told to taxi, via Bravo 2 then Charlie, it makes a big difference if you can see where those are in front of you. It really does. And obviously all the different stands and gates all marked out really nicely. Obviously, I'm no expert on Alicante, so I can't tell you 100% if it's, completely accurate, but it's freeware. So, yeah, take what you can get is my advice. But this is a really nice addition to the sim. It's nice to have a good Spanish airport on the books that you can have that really elevates the experience without having to put your hand in your pocket, basically. Really great addition. Okay, keeping on with our Spanish theme, and we are now here at Malaga. Now, this is another flightsim.to freeware download, but be careful when you install it. You need to install the main package, but also in the description it will link you to another package you have to install to get it all working properly. So make sure you install both, pay attention to what you're doing. But again, this is another really nice freeware add-on. Look at all those ground markings with all the gate numbers, the taxiway markings. It's absolutely fantastic. Fair enough, the terminal building maybe looks a little bit on the basic side, and the tower there looks a little bit primitive, but this is freeware. You're not paying $10, $20, $25, euros, pounds for it. This is freeware, so you need to keep your expectations in line. But when you compare and contrast what you get by default, this is a world away. It's really well worth the install because it's free. Why wouldn't you? And again, if you haven't flown into Malaga, I would highly, highly encourage it. If I just pan the camera around here, you see all those hills there in the background. You kind of come in on approach through those. It is absolutely stunning. Really fun flight, and again, one of those flights if you're based out of the UK, like coming out of Gatwick or wherever, this is a really nice kind of 2-hour-ish flight that you can get on the books. And again, it's one that we do on the Air Not VA. And again, if you want to join us, head on over to New Sky. I will leave a link in the description, and we would love to fly with you over there. Absolutely cracking addition from flightsim.to. My thanks to the developers, and let's move on to the next airport. Okay, now we're moving over to Norway. We are here in Bergen, and my goodness, just look at that scenery. Even on an overcast day, it looks pretty spectacular. If you haven't flown into Bergen, even if you haven't got this Freeware scenery, just do yourselves a favour and fly into Bergen. It's absolutely spectacular. It's a route on our VA over on New Sky, but it's one that I don't fly nearly enough. Actually, looking at this now, I'm thinking I should definitely fly into Bergen more often. And as we look out here onto the approach into runway 35, you can see what kind of treats you're going to be given as you come in on final approach. Absolutely stunning part of the world, and it's always nice when a really stunning part of the world gets a really good Freeware airport to go along with it, because sometimes the default airports that, you know, come in places in the world that look absolutely amazing, the airport kind of lets the surrounding area down a little bit. That can happen quite a bit in the sim, so it's really nice that we've got a good quality version of Bergen here. As you look down the runway here, you can see it's kind of on a little bit of a hill going on there, so it's nice to see that that's being modelled. Obviously, I've never been there in real life, so I can't guarantee that it's completely accurate, but it's always good fun to land on runways that aren't completely flat, even though I do find it weird that runways are allowed to be built that aren't completely flat. You would think that would be job number one, flatten the ground and then build the runway, but it happens a lot. It seems that, you know, lumps and bumps in runways are a thing. You can see a nice job's been done on the terminal building as well. Nice jetways with the stand numbers on the end, so hopefully you won't miss what stand you're going to, although, you know, stranger things have happened on VATSIM with me before, but we won't say any more about that. And as we kind of pan back, you can see a bit more of the taxiway markings all laid out nicely, all labelled up. That's what we like. The probability of making a mistake on VATSIM is greatly reduced when you've got nice taxiway markings, and hopefully accurate taxiways in the first place, so that's always good. Although, despite accurate taxiways, I still sometimes do make a giant mess of things, so maybe the issue isn't the airports after all, maybe it's a me thing. But anyway, we'll take what we can get, and I would highly encourage you to get this airport and fly in and out a bit more. I should really fly it more. It's one that I don't fly nearly enough, and like I say, making this video kind of makes me think, oh yeah, I need to fly into Bergen again. So thoroughly recommend. Link in the description, and let's move on to the last airport. Alright, so we are saving the best till last. Now, this one isn't actually on flightsim.to, unlike the others. This freeware product is actually available via the Orbex store for free. It's developed by Aviotech Simulation Software. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And yeah, Orbex are putting it up on their store as a free download. So massive shout out to Orbex for doing that. I don't know if any of you have ever looked at what it costs to transmit data across the internet. I have done in the past for some other software related projects I was involved in, and it adds up quick, so it's really good of Orbex to chuck this up on their store and allow us all to download it from them. So massive thanks to Orbex, and massive thanks to the developer for making this available. I mean, just look at the detail in this terminal for freeware. This is absolutely astonishing. Frankfurt, of course, is a massive airport in Germany. You know, some of the taxis here probably could rival that you get in Amsterdam, but just look at those terminal buildings. If we come down a bit, you can just see they're absolutely dripping in detail. Absolutely fantastic. Just detail everywhere you look. You can see they've got all those buses there in a little holding area kind of behind the terminal building. It just seems like everywhere you look with this piece of scenery, there is just detail kind of just everywhere. This really is, in my view, payware quality. I mean, just looking at these terminal buildings, there's just detail everywhere, from the signage to the weathering on the tops of the roofs, where you can see the wind and the rain has been sort of battering it, and the rain sort of dripping down, leaving marks. Absolutely incredible levels of detail. This is freeware. I can't stress that enough. This is freeware. It's honestly, it's kind of up there with what I would expect to see from the outside, at least, from some payware airports. It's absolutely incredible. Just detail everywhere. It's just a feast for the eyes. So for goodness sake, get yourself over to Orbex and get this one downloaded. Get it on the books. Of course, being a big, busy airport in Germany, it's often very well covered on VATSIM as well. So I'm looking forward to flying in and out of this one a lot more in the near future on the channel, and of course on our VA on New Sky. And thoroughly recommend you do the same. I've got to be honest, I'm a little bit apprehensive because it's a big, busy airport, and I really don't want to make a mistake on VATSIM and ruin everything for everyone else. But you can see this isn't just like they've taken one kind of terminal building asset and just copy-pasted it everywhere. It's really, really great levels of detail. And you can see there's another terminal building over there that looks different to all the others. Lots going on, lots to see, and yeah, just detail absolutely everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. definitely, this one's just a no-brainer. I mean, if this was paid, I would probably pay for it, which maybe the developer doesn't want to hear that. They'd be like, damn it, we should have charged. I mean, this is what I would consider to be payware worthy for sure. And the fact that it's free, just for goodness sake, get yourself over to Orbex, get it downloaded, get it on the books, and just have an amazing time with it. What an incredible contribution to the flight sim community, not only from the developers here that did Frankfurt, but also all the others in this video. It's you know, just such a wonderful time at the moment in the sim. There's just so much innovation taking place. There's so much going on, whether it's AI air traffic control systems, whether it's study level jets that are coming out. We've got the 777 coming out soon. We've got the MD-11. We've got all sorts happening on the Airbus side as well. And then we've got these awesome airports to back that up. You know, you've got the payware side, which is, you can get some incredible products there, but then there's some also really strong options on the freeware side, and you shouldn't be ignoring this stuff at all. It's if you're in any way into the sim, get these freeware products, get them in the sim, get enjoying them, get flying in and out of these amazing airports, and have a great time. It's yeah, just such a great time to be a simmer at the moment. It really is. Anyway, I'm going to stop waffling. Just keep looking at these views here. They look absolutely incredible. But until next time, folks, take the very best care of yourselves. Leave us a comment. Let us know if I've missed one of your favourite airports, because you know, share the knowledge, share it in the comments. I'm sure lots of people would love to hear from you, including myself. Until next time, take the very best care of yourselves. And as always, happy flying.